For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Hamas has released 24 hostages who were held captive in Gaza as part of a 4-day ceasefire. Those released today include 13 Israelis, 10 people from Thailand, and a Filipino citizen. Among those released include 3 generations of one family, a mother and her children, and 5 individual elderly women, all ages ranging 85 years old to 2. No U.S. citizens were among them. Carolyn Malone reports.
U.S. officials had said they had a working list of 10 U.S. hostages likely to be released by Hamas on Friday, but now that's not looking likely. Among the U.S. citizens is Abigail Edan, still being held by Hamas. Her parents were killed in the October 7th attack. She turned 4 on Friday. Caroline Malone, Washington.
Under the 4-day ceasefire deal, 50 of 240 hostages taken by Palestinian militants are to be exchanged for some 150 Palestinians detained in Israeli prisons. That ceasefire could extend each day that 10 more hostages are released. Minibuses appearing to be carrying Palestinian prisoners for release as part of the swap were seen at Ofer prison in the occupied West Bank, where Israeli forces fired tear gas as crowds amassed waiting for the release of prisoners. Palestinian authorities have released a list of 39 prisoners for release today, including 24 women, some convicted of attempted murder for attacks on Israeli forces, and 15 teenagers. Out of the 300 names of potential Palestinians Israel could release, 270 are children, 30 are women. 233 have not been convicted of a crime. They've been indefinitely detained without due process. The ceasefire also allows sorely needed aid to start flowing into Gaza. FSN's William Denislow reports.
Spokesperson for the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, Jens Lerche, says this presents an opportunity to bring more humanitarian aid into Gaza.
We hope the agreement between Israel and Hamas, now in force, will bring respite to the people of Gaza and Israel, and some relief to the hostages and detainees who will be released, and to their families. We hope it allows grieving families to honor their dead and bury them with dignity. And we hope that this humanitarian pause leads to a longer-term humanitarian ceasefire for the benefit of the people of Gaza, Israel, and beyond.
William Denslow reporting.
Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez joined Belgium's Prime Minister near the Rafah border crossing from Egypt into Gaza today to demand a permanent ceasefire and a meaningful process for a two-state solution. He's calling for a peace conference with world leaders, demanding Israel and Palestine also attend. Today is an International Day of Action for Justice in Palestine, demanding a permanent ceasefire, many calling for an Israel boycott. For Black Friday in the U.S., the mass consumerist blitz that kicks off the holiday shopping season. Actions are planned across the country in major cities and smaller ones, from New York City's Washington Square to Raytheon and Lockheed facilities in Fairborn, Ohio, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Dallas, Portland to San Francisco. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres visited Antarctica today and viewed the melting glaciers there that are forecast to completely melt due to human-caused global warming. New figures show this summer the Antarctic was 1.5 million square kilometers smaller than the average. For the time of the year, that's 370 million acres smaller, an area roughly the size of Portugal, Spain, France, and Germany combined.
Fossil fuel pollution is eating our planet and unleashing climate anarchy in Antarctica. The Southern Ocean has taken the majority of the heat from global warming. That means ice melting into the ocean at record rates. Melting ice means sea levels rising at record rates. And that directly endangers the lives and livelihoods of people in coastal communities across the globe.
His visit comes ahead of the global climate talks at the end of the month, COP28. In the U.S., the family of a black man who died after police tased and beat him in Mobile, Alabama, compared it to the murder of George Floyd, which sparked nationwide protests against police brutality and racism. Jawan Dallas died on July 2nd this year, and his family has fought to view officers' body cam footage. They were finally allowed to one day before Thanksgiving. Family attorney Harry Daniels spoke at a press conference after the viewing and says audio from the videos indicate Dallas was tased 13 times, and the video contradicts the officer's claims. Dallas initiated a struggle with the two officers, calling his death a murder.
He was begging for his life, telling the officers, "I cannot breathe. Help me." He was screaming, begging for help. At one point, he even said, "I do not want to be George Floyd." He said to the officer, "I do not want to be the next George Floyd." Telling me, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." And I know this is PG, but I'm going to tell you what he said. One of the officers told him to shut the f up multiple times, or I will punch you in your stomach. Multiple times. When he said, "I can't breathe," shut the F up.
A grand jury last week cleared the officers of wrongdoing. Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimson said in a statement Dallas died due to health issues and intoxication. The family is suing. I'm Christina Onnested, reporting for Pacifica Radio.